I said, two things you got to be. You got to do both of them, depending on where you're at. So they also mentioned if you're doing your research on the property, you definitely want, and when he said talk with a realtor, you can do that on the phone. You don't have to physically be there. But before you actually make the purchase, you want to call up a realtor, develop a relationship, and ask them to go out and get a couple digital pictures and send it back to you and tell them, well, you know, I may end up selling this house. If I do, I'd like you to be my agent representing the sale. Would you go give me some pictures? They come back, and if the pictures on Google are this pretty nice looking house, and the pictures they give you are some ashes from a house that used to be, then you know that that's a little bit dated on Google, and you're lucky you didn't invest in that property. So you do have to get some up-to-minute actual photographs of what's going on, so you are sure what you get involved in.
I would go a step further too. I mean, my first house I bought on eBay, sight unseen, 4 years ago, and I can say it was a total mistake as I paid 10 grand for it, but it got me into an area that I really wanted to get into, and I ended up renovating that house. It's been a great rental since. But I would say go to the area that you really want to buy in. Just buy a plane ticket, go there for a couple of days, look around, talk to the neighbors around the house, and get a real feel. Because it's so hard. I look at pictures all the time, and I think, oh, okay, I got a pretty good idea, and then I go there, and I'm like, oh, it's totally different. Right? So,
yeah, good idea to go. Also, on the tax liens, you can buy a tax lien on a property that you can never afford to buy as a rental or an investment. And if you end up with it for just the taxes, you can get rid of it. So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, $150,000 to a $500,000 home on a tax lien is anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. So what I'm saying is, especially in this economy, like you said, you want to make sure the houses that you're getting tax liens on are decent enough to get rid of if you do end up with property.
If they're that kind of value, when they go on a tax sale, and you never get tired.
Yeah, and that's why 99 or 8% of the time, you never have to worry about taking the property back. You're going to get your money and your interest.
You're not going to get it for $1,000.
Right. And they're saying that most of the houses that are coming back aren't from property owners. They pay their taxes. They're from investors or REO bulk purchases where it's just gotten lost in the shuffle, and somebody's just out to lunch and now you need to deal with it. It's your property.
But they're vacant land.
And you don't want to invest in vacant land unless you know that you want to invest in vacant land. So you want to make sure it's not, you think there's a house, you find out it's vacant land. You don't want to make that mistake. But if you're looking for vacant land, you can do that. I've got 30 acres I bought in New Mexico, and I've been sitting on it for a couple of years trying to sell it. And of course, you know what the economy is. And all of a sudden I went, hey, wait a minute. It's sitting there, and I'm listening to this tax lien about you got to get your money working for you as fast as you can. I might as well go out, I want to finance that property and get $200 or $300 a month coming in, because I've already had people say, well, I can pay you $250, $300 or whatever for 30 acres, give them a good deal coming in. It's pretty hard to trash a piece of land with no house on it. If you got to foreclose and take it back, maybe they sunk a well, great. I'll take it back with a well. That costs money. So if you do land, then I suggest you seriously consider doing owner financing and get that money coming in.
That's the other game plan that a lot of people are doing now, is they get these properties back and they don't renovation. They just stick them out there and they put them out on a land contract.
Right.
So give me $2,000 down and $400 a month or whatever, and I'll carry mortgage on the property. And then whatever happens with the property, if they go in and renovate it and live in it, great. If they don't, it falls apart, you just kind of go on to the next one. That's a big approach that a lot of people seem to be doing now.
And laws are changing. They're trying to make it more difficult for you to be your own owner financing. If you do too many, the government's going to come in and crack down. Just like California, they're saying, hey, you used to be able to go out and do short sales and different things, and the lawyers went, wow, there's a way for us to make money and keep everybody out of this game. All we have to do is make a law. We're lawyers, we can do that. Okay, now the law is if you're not a realtor, if you're not a lawyer, you can't do a short sale. So, there's just another example of...
Well, I'm talking about if you have the property from the tax sale.
Right.
If it came back to you, you generally own it for you, or you can do whatever you want.
Well, you can, but if you want to owner finance it, they're even starting to talk about, we're only going to let you owner finance so many properties before you need to have a license.
I haven't heard anybody actually having trouble.
Well, you've heard the emails
Well,
about...
it's come through Congress, it has about to set.
Right. Yeah, it's not there yet, but they're working on it, And I'm sitting here going, yeah, just give it to the realtor, let's go for another tax lien. Who knows? So in any case, I want to thank you all for being here. If you've got any questions, do get back to myself, or you can get back to Larry, or get back to Sheila. Tax liens. Thank you. We're probably going to be here next month. I've got a speaker coming in to talk about land purchases on tax liens. And of course, I think they've got a program they want to promote and sell you, so get ready for that.
Make sure you factor this in before
Right.
you buy vacant land.
Have you gone to the tax